Okay, see my weight gloves? These are very helpful. Ask any gardener or landscaper, unless they're like really hardcore and they're young. Gloves help. Okay, so get your gloves and we're going to get going. And as I start today, see, a pole is much different than just a lightweight. So grab you a pole, and what you need to know is every time you pick up something or every time you ambulate. See, I'm just ambulating. Hi, everybody coming on. I see you out there. Get your weights ready, as I told them that came on. When you ambulate, stand on your feet. That's a good thing, okay? That's why one of the best things you can possibly do to help your bones, your muscles, is to ambulate in neutral spine. And so somebody might say, well, how do I know, Jeannie? How do I know? Some of you I've personally worked with. Do you see how I'm stepping over and I'm doing a little bend? Okay, this is the very beginning. This is the first, 0 to 3 minutes that I'm doing this kind of a thing. So once I get into this little dippy thing, that's where your neutral spine training begins, right here. Every time somebody ambulates forward, especially when you've been lucky enough to continue to have your birthdays, you've got the gravitational forces in this world that we live in pulling on you. It can pull on you in a very positive way or a negative way. A lot of it is your choice. Now, some of us that have structural, postural challenges, yeah, it might be a little harder. But do you see this little crossover that I'm doing? This is a very important thing to train neutral spine. Because the minute somebody wants to go forward, this is what we want to do. This is what this class is about, training you against that type of leaning. That is not neutral spine. Take your bar, put it, this is a test as we're warming up, put it right in the middle, midline. Where should you touch? You should touch the back of your head, not the top of your head. Okay, the back of the head, between the shoulders, and right down through the crack. Yes. If you're against the wall, your butts, the very back part of your butt, between your shoulder blades and the back of your head would be touching. Then take that pole out. That is neutral spine. And then give yourself a little walking test, okay? So here we go. So here we go. And here we go. And I'm not doing this. Okay. That's this, what I just went over is, when I say neutral spine, this is what I'm talking about. You can do it you can test yourself with a pole. You can get up against a wall. Either one of those will give you a test, a measure of what neutral spine is. Then put your pole right here. Come forward, come backward, okay? If you have had shoulder issues, now you see what I'm doing? Because I'm fixing to pick up the light weight. I'm doing all this first couple of minutes with just a pole. You see what this is? See, I'm toe, toe. And it's a toe tap. See this? It's a toe tap. It's a toe tap. Okay, so I'm working myself into one-legged motion or one-legged standing. See that tap? And I'm taking a big breath. Big breath. And I'm keeping my chin tucked. And I'm going to do a toe tap. And then when I come here, I'm going to go right back here. What am I not doing at this point? Some of you should be yelling. You're not leaning your head forward. Yes. Some of you, if I were walking to the room right now, and I'm doing this for a very specific reason, to help you understand that as a trainer, I could not put a bunch of weight in your hands and tell you to go up, because you can't. Because when you go up, you go like this, because you have limited shoulder motion. So we have to work to restore that before we put appreciable weights and ask you to come up. And when I come down, I do not want to dip my head forward. That's the point of doing all the lead up I did this morning to this point. See this? I'm going to come back. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to keep my ears over my shoulders. So it's my shoulder, it's the whole rotation, the ball and socket joint of my shoulders that I have to deal with. Or I can't really train up overhead and do it safely. Okay? Now, can you do it and do some cheater moves? Yeah, I see it done all the time. Every time I walk through a club, I see it being done in a way that could possibly injure. So I'm just going to ambulate here, and I'm choosing to ambulate across the body midline. As I bring the bar under my chin to my collarbone, then up on the head. And now I'm going to go do the very important one. Here I'm going to come right back here. And what do I have to do? So, okay, you know good and well that I'm putting this in here for you. See, if I'm doing something with my legs, and then I'm trying to hit parameters with my shoulders, that is a compound move. You have to think through what in the heck you're doing in order to keep neutral spine and do that kind of ambulation, that kind of motion, okay? So once I've done that, now let's do our rotations, okay? Now, when you do your rotations, again, I'm in neutral spine. And many times I've asked, you know, somebody asked me, what kind of class do I do? And I said, well, you know, my primary goal in every single class is to get you to function in a neutral spine, okay? Which gives you the chance to get stronger in your postural muscles. So right now, I'm not pivoting. See, I'm not pivoting my knee. I'm turning. I'm starting to turn, but I'm keeping my feet pretty solid. I'm not pivoting, okay? Now I'm going to put that down. Now I'm going to pick up and start with the light, heavy, and medium ranges. Okay, I'm going to pick up a light weight in my hands. That's why I wanted to show you that I have gloves on, because having gloves on is a big assist when you're gripping something. And if you have arthritis, if you have any kind of neuropathies, well, I'm hoping that we're trying to address some of those issues. But now I've got a light weight in my hand, and I'm going to do curls as I'm doing right now. And here's the thing. It's very natural, normal to pick up a weight and to start doing this motion. See, it's a forward motion. And I've already cautioned you on what do we do when we start doing forward motion. You don't even have to have anything in your hand. If you just walk forward, many of us are starting to walk forward habitually bent. And I'm saying, don't do that. Take a step with your knee up and do the curl. Knee up and do the curl. And when that part of your weight touches your front, that should say rib cage up. So no matter what you're doing with your feet, rib cage up, rib cage up. And yes, I'm hesitating. I'm hesitating as I do this curl. The other thing you should notice in this lightweight curling motion is I'm bringing my knee up. I'm hesitating. Yes, yes, and yes. As I tap right here, rib cage up, taking a breath through my nose. And as I'm hesitating, I really, when I touch, I have to say rib cage up, okay? Now we're gonna go back. So now I'm gonna go down here. Oh, my elbows are in. That's what I wanted to point out. When you're doing this, a lot of times I see people throwing elbows. So what you want to do is keep your elbows in close to you. And now especially in close to you, okay? So now I'm gonna come right here, drop my shoulders, take a step back. I'm leaning, but I'm not leaning with my back, okay? See, I'm taking a step backwards. I'm leaning from this front knee bend. Do you see that? So what you gotta notice here is from my ear to my shoulder to my hip, it is a line, okay? That helps me to really use my hip, my leg, my back, in a way that's gonna get me stronger, even with light weights. So I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna bring those elbows in. I'm gonna say rib cage up. I'm leaning and I'm pushing. See that? Take breath, push. Drop the shoulders, push. Drop the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades. Push, push. Breath, push. Breath, push. Then you come up. Then you step back. And you do it once more. So this is our sets. You should notice my elbows are in. My shoulders are down. If I want to lean more, I'm leaning from my hip and my knee. Not my back. Not my shoulders. So I'm waking up my back muscles. I'm waking up my back extensors, the back part of my deltoids, my triceps, press. Then I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna act like I'm sitting. And the first big bend, you need to take a wide step, okay? Not real wide, like you're gonna sit in a chair wide, okay? So a big mistake that a lot of people make when they go to sit in a chair, since I'm on that zone, is they're too narrow. At least step a little bit wider than your shoulders, at least shoulder width. Then you come down, take a breath, and come back up. So now we're gonna do two moves. We're gonna go here, pull, and then we're gonna go pull. And we're gonna come up. We're gonna go down, we're gonna go pull, pull, and come back up. Okay, so think about what you're doing. Take a big breath, say rib cage up. You're gonna act like you're gonna sit down. Your weights are right here. You're gonna come right into this pull. Then we're gonna go open just a little, because this is what? What kind of weight is this? A light weight. Yes, you don't do this with a heavy weight. So you're gonna act like you're gonna sit down. You got the light weight. You're going to pull right in here so you get your elbows in. And then you come out and you do a little fly. It's called a fly. But my elbows are bent. I'm not doing a straight armed fly. I'm going to come down, act like I'm going to sit, pull those elbows in, drop the shoulders, bring those shoulder blades together, 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 one more, together, and come back up. Nice. Okay, now, these are light weights. Now we're going to do a little interset. I'm going to sit on the balance pad. I'm going to put my weights down, open my hands because I've been gripping. That's one of the rules if you want to take care of your joints is take breaks. Take breaks. Open, close, open, close. I'm going to put my hands right here on the little balance pad. Okay, if it bothers you, of course, take it out. Now I'm going to do a body weight, okay? So I'm right here. I'm inching myself to the edge. Drop my shoulders. Big deal there. Make sure you have your heel of your hand on the little pad. And then take your butt off that chair. Then you're going to bend your elbows. You are not going to do anything with your hip. This is everything through the shoulders, through the arms. Okay, take a breath. So I'm on my heels, keeping my shoulders down. I'm dipping, 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 dipping. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders again. Bend the elbows, bend the elbows, bend the elbow. Come down as far as you can, then come back up. Okay? So you're not going real far. You're not going real far with your shoulder. You are dipping at the elbow, right there. Take a big deep breath. Keep your hips still. Meaning I don't want you lifting, I don't want you drop, I don't want you doing anything with your hip. This move is happening through the arms. Take a breath. I got 2 more. Take a breath. I got 1 more. And then I'm going to come back and sit. So just get yourself back up there on that chair. Bring those hands up, open, and go back. Got it? Okay, now we're going to do a little different move. I'm going to lean back. Okay, practice it. You're sitting on a little pad here. You're going to open at the hip. Drop your chin. You're going to lean back, but your chest will be lifted. See, I'm coming right back here. I'm not leaning into this. I may touch it, and I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to push it right here. See this? I'm going to push it right there. Take a big breath. I'm going to push it right there. Okay, now I'm going to do this with a light weight. So I'm going to hip hinge, grab my light weight, hip hinge, grab my light weight. Okay? And here we go. We're going to open back. We're going to bring these weights right into the chest. And we're going to go push. And we're going to go push. Breath. Exhale. Breath. Exhale. Breath. Exhale. Lean back. Keep your chin tucked. Yes. Breath. Woo. Breath. Go. Breath. Just 2 more, just 2 more. Stay with me, stay with me. Here we go, breath. Here we go. And we're going to come back up. And we're going to come back up here. And we're going to bring our elbows together. And we're going to bring them open. Drop your shoulders, rib cage up. Here we go. Woo! And open. Take a big breath. And exhale. Keep shoulders down. Don't grip your weights. They're just resting in your hands. Hinge. And then open. Keep your shoulders down. Hinge. And then open. Keep your rib cage up. Woo! And breath. One more. Here we go. And breath. Put those weights right there on your knee. Lean in, come back. Okay? Lean in. Now, when I leaned in, I know you did this because I will do it if I'm not thinking. Lean in, but keep your chin tucked. See that? Okay, this will be a different position now. I got you ready for this by doing the move that I did just before the last couple moves. See, I'm leaning in. My legs are wide right here. And now I'm gonna take those light weights. These are light weights. For me, the light weight is 6 and 6. For you, it might be 3 and 3. It might be 4 and 4. You know, it might be 8 and 8. Drop your shoulders, good control. Lean in, bring the weights back. See that? Now squeeze those shoulder blades in and then push them out slowly. Now squeeze your shoulder blades in. Now come in with the elbows. Now go out again with the elbows. See that? Shoulders are down. Squeeze the shoulder blades in. Bring them back. Take a big deep breath. Exhale as you go out. Yeah. Bring those shoulder blades in. Take a breath. One more. Here we go. Way out there. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Keep your chin tucked. Big breath. Come back in and come back in. Now you should have felt that, especially those of you out there who have shoulder issues. Okay, now we're taking the walking component out. We're still with light weights. Now we're going to come up and we're going to come up. You remember the pole work that we did when I first came on? Remember that? So if you have these weights, they're light weights, and they're right here on your shoulders. Got it? Say ribcage up. Come up just to the ears. They need to be touching your ears. Look at the position of your elbows. You should be able to see your elbows out of the corners, your peripheral vision. You should be able to see your elbows with your weight stuck right here on the top of your ears. You got it? Then and only then do you come up a little bit. So you just hang out here for a bit. And then you come up just a little bit more. And then just a little bit more. See that? This is lightweight. Then you come down, and where's your stopping point? Right where you started. And when you're looking forward, you should be able to see your elbows. Drop your shoulders. And they should be right in line with the side of your body. Right there. See that? Then you come back up. Put those weights right at your top of your ears. Take a big deep breath. Drop your shoulders. Very important. Drop your shoulders. Breath. Come up. Hang out here for just a little bit. Don't bring the elbows back or forward. They got to be able to fit right down here. Yes. So that is a corrective exercise for postural, rounded shoulders, forward bending, etc. I know, you should have been like screaming just a little bit. Okay, take a breath. Yes. Come into a hip hinge. Don't jerk. Keep your legs pretty wide. Come into the hip hinge. You're down for the count. I want your quads, your legs, your knees, your feet, your hips, everything to feel what it feels like to do a light weighted hip hinge. See that? I'm getting a readout, see? So mine is 6 and 6. So when I go down into a proper hip hinge, like I'm gonna sit and I have these weights, that's what is coming down into your hips, your back, your knees, and your feet, right there. See that? Yeah. So you need to do a few just to feel what that feels like. Okay? So now I'm going to go put my weights on my little rack. And even have these. Now I'm going to go to 9. Okay? And we're going to go from 9, 12, and 15. Those are kind of our light middle range, and heavy middle range. So I'm going to do 9 and 9. Okay. 9 and 9. Here I am. First thing I'm going to do is get my lower body activated. How am I going to do that? And I'm going to give my arms just a little bit of a rest. Put these weights right here. Okay? And do you remember what we first did when I first came on? Those of you who were not tardy. Yeah, we did a crossover. And when I did the crossover and I did to this point, as if I was going to release my back foot, don't ever release the back foot unless you've done rib cage up, shoulders down. That is absolutely imperative. If you want to function with pushing the body loading with a little weight, see, I'm going to go crossover. Now I'm going to act like I'm going to pull the back foot, but I don't, because too many of you lean. So drop your chin, take a breath. So rib cage up. The front knee is not locked. Okay. I'm almost ready to pull the back toe, but I'm not. I'm going to come back. Okay. So some of these little moves that I'm doing with a weight on my shoulder that involves posture, it's huge. So now we've already known how that feels now. This is 9 pounds and 9 pounds. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders. Yes, rib cage up. Yes, shoulders down. Yes, front leg is not locked. Got it? You're going to bring the back foot up right to there. And then you're going to come into the center and you're going to take a walk back. Okie dokie. Here I am. See? It's right here. You are going to really struggle with this very nuanced move here. If you have a bit of a forward shoulder, rounded shoulder, forward head syndrome, this is going to push you because you can't lean. If you lean, you're going to lose your weights. Okay, soften up your knees, drop your shoulders, take a big breath through the nose. Yes, cross over. Just wait before you lift that back leg. Say rib cage up, drop shoulders. Yes, yes. Big breath, bring the back leg up. And then cross and back. Okay, keep your shoulders down. Some of you are starting to scream. I know that. Take a big deep breath. See, this is when I say, this hurts me more than you. I know. Kathy wants to slap me right now. Okay, drop your shoulders. Cross. Okay, before you pull that back toe, rib cage up. Drop your shoulders. Then you come up. This is retraining. This is retraining that horrible lean out that you don't want to do. I'm trying to help you with this. Okay, so I'm going to go over. I'm going to say rib cage up. Drop my shoulders. Take a big breath. Release and step forward without doing what? Without hunching forward. Okay, take these. Do a little release. See how I did that? It just came right into my hands. Take a big breath. Now do that split stance. Rib cage up. Okay? Keep the heel down and back. Keep the heel down and back. This is when you're going to pull, 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 pull. Don't do it fast. You're going to go 1 tap, tap. Then you're gonna pull together. Then you're gonna go out and pull in, and not very far. You're gonna go out and pull in. Keep your rib cage up. Out and pull in. Out and pull in. And then come one tap, two tap, pull both. Bring them down. One tap, rib cage up. Two tap, rib cage up. Pull. Nice. Okay, bring that back leg up. And step forward with that back leg. Okay? Correct your back foot. What do I mean by that? When you go into a split stance, typically this is always what I will see. You know you're going to put a foot up, a little more exaggerated. And so you know what you do? You do this. Bingo. Don't do that. So you can go wider when you step forward, but don't turn your foot. Okie dokie, here we go. Step way up, split stance, drop your shoulders. Yeah. Now lean in, keep your chin tucked. Okay. And then we're going to pull. See that? When you pull from the knee back with this heavier weight, this is a 9 and a 9 now. Keep the shoulders down. Make sure that foot in the back is straight on. Take a big breath. Here we go. Pull. Keep your shoulders down. Very important here. And when you pull straight back, keep the heel down and back. Keep your elbows in. Right there. Take a big breath. Pull. Drop your shoulders. Breath and pull. And breath and pull. One more. Pull. Then you walk over to your chair. See that? I'm going to go shoulder width with my feet. Then I'm going to get the readout of this heavier weight load into my knees, my hips, my back, my shoulders, my feet. Okay? Go right into it. Hang out here for a little bit. Then come back. Okay? Watch your knees. Don't come in with your knees. Don't go out with your knees. Here we go. Deep breath. And when you come down into like a pretend sit down, you're not going to sit down. You're going to come down and touch the backs of your legs. You're going to hang out here for just a little bit. And then you come back like 1000, 1002. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Boom. And come back. Okay. One more. Right there. Hang out. Hang out. Touch the backs of your hamstrings. Breath. Shoulders down. Breath. 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 Now bring one weight up and the other weight up. These are a heavier weight. Right? Okay, rib cage up and open. See how they're leaning on my shoulders? That's okay. Lean them on your shoulders, but open those arms. Say rib cage up. Okay? Now pretend that you're gonna lift them off your shoulders. Okay? Keep your shoulders down, soften up your knees, and just lift them off your shoulders. And loosen up your grip. See, I'm waving to you. Drop your shoulders. Take a big deep breath. Take a big deep breath. Step forward and back. Step forward and back. Look at my elbows. Yeah. Now bring them back and bring it back. See that? And bring it down and bring it down. Big breath. Okay. One more move before we get rid of these. Okay, so here we are. We know how to get them up to our shoulder, up to our shoulder. We know how to open, correct? Okay, soften up your knees, widen up your stance. Say rib cage up. Then you're gonna come right up here to the top of your ears. Keep your shoulders down, right to the top of your ears. Don't grip too hard. Big breath. Hang out here. Hang out here. Hang out here. Take a breath. Bring it back down and bring it back down and bring it back down. Yeah, you love it, don't you? Okay, put those weights in the rack. And before we pick them up, open your hands. Go like this with a straight arm. See how I'm pulling? This is a very good thing to do when you're gripping. If I could get my gardeners who are on here to pay attention to giving your hands I was going to say break. Give them a rest. So swing back and forth. See? Just swing back and forth with your leg. Say rib cage up. Do that leg swing through. And then don't just pull them up here. That's addressing this tightness. What about this tightness? This is what you don't see people do. Keep a straight arm. You're going to swing the other leg. Front to back. Drop your shoulders. And just let it be there. Just bend that wrist under and let that stretch. Then do the other one. Big breath. Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. Yes. Okay. Now we're ready to open, close, and pick up a heavier weight. So I'm going right on up. I'm going to 12 now. So whatever it is that you picked up a while ago, if that was your end point, and how do you know it was your end point? Well, if I were in the room with you and I was watching you do some of these lifts and you knew that you had bad form, just to get the thing up, that's too much weight for you, okay? So here we are. I'm going to step forward. I'm going to bring them in, tap, bring them back down. Remember the tapping? Step, drop my shoulders, say rib cage up. I'm going to bring one in, tap, tap, bring them down. So do that again a couple more times. Because see, my arms, my shoulders, my postural muscles, my hips, my knees, my feet, everything is reading out this extra weight that I just picked up, okay? And if you're thinking, whoa, that's pushing, then you might need to go back down, okay? So the hallmark of whether or not your weight is sufficient, generally speaking, if I can get somebody to do 5 to 10 repetitions, okay, and keep good form, and they really have to push at the last couple repetitions, and they're using good form, that's about right. If you have to break form, you bring your shoulders up, you're throwing your elbows all over, you're hunching, you're losing your form. That's what I'm talking about. To get those last couple of repetitions, then you might as well not do those last couple of repetitions. Ah! Okay, take a breath. Okay, so now we've done the tap. Now we're right here. I'm going to step shoulder width. I'm going to loosen my knees. Don't lock them. Then I'm going to go out with this heavier weight. And you notice what I'm doing? See my elbows? I'm not throwing them back. Then I'm going to go right up here. Take a big deep breath. Loosen up your grip. Bring it right back down. Take a breath. Big breath. Exhale. Breath, breath. Bring them down. If everything is going good, Try to do another right above the ear, right down. Bring them in, bring them down. Now bring those shoulders up and come down. So that should start pushing you. If you picked up a little more weight, you should feel a little push going. Now we're going to go back and do some of the back arms with these heavier weights. So I'm going to back up here to my chair. I'm going to sit because I'm going to take my standing effort out of it. You still have to be conscious of your neutral spine. And sitting in a neutral spine is a really good thing to practice, because what is the very first thing that you want to do when you sit down? I know it, because that's what slugs do. I understand that. I love slugs. That's why I'm doing this class. Hip hinge, shoulders down, chin tucked. I'm going to pull, I'm going to push. Now I'm not going into my fly here. It's a heavier weight. And I know what my limitations are. I have had a significant shoulder issue. Yeah, okay, like most people who had their birthdays past 20. Lean in, keep your chin tucked. Here we go. Push. Hang on to it out there and then push it again. Drop your shoulders. Push it again. Roll those shoulder blades into your back. Roll them in. Take a breath. Woo! Take a breath. Push. Take a breath. Push. Take a breath. Push. Now, act like you're actually going to stand up from your seated position, but don't go all the way up. I want you to just stay in a squat for a little bit. Bring it down, tap, up. 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 Heels, 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 heels. And then come up. Okay? Split stance. Take pretty wide. Bend that back knee. Try to keep the heels down. Then go shoulders to ears. Shoulders to ears. Let your weights kind of hang off your fingertips. Shoulders to ears. So I'm targeting those leg muscles all the way down. Keep your back knee a little bent. Keep your heel down. Say ribcage up. Woo! Squeeze up and back. Now go back and now come forth. Now go back. Now come forth. Keep your tummy tight. Your rib cage up. Woo! Take a big breath. Then bring your back leg up. Take your front leg back. Okay, you can go wide, but get your heel down. Bend the back knee a tiny bit. Bring those weights right up here. Okay, now this is a crucial time to position yourself so that you are actually in neutral posture. Ear, shoulder, hip. See this little bending? See these little tiny bending that I'm doing? I'm resting your arms and I'm ripping up those muscles in the leg. Take a breath. It's a tiny dip. See this? It's a tiny dip. A tiny dip. Yeah. Take a breath. A tiny dip. This is aimed at trying to strengthen your legs, even though you might have hips and knees or both replaced. So we want to put our joints at risk. We do want to load the muscle. Say rib cage up. Don't lean in. Stay rib cage up. You're doing the little dippy thing. Little dippy thing. And step back. And you got these weights right here. How am I going to get them down? I'm going to go like this. Tight tummy. Boom. And they go right into my hands. Just like that. And I'm going to bring them over here. I'm going to drop them in. Now, I'm going to do heavies. whatever that is for you. I'm going to pass up the 15 and I'm going to go to the 18. Okie dokie. So, whatever is heavy for you, go ahead and pick it up. We're going to do a lot of carrying type things involving some of the very things that we did at the beginning of this class. So when you're picking up very heavy, you got to manage your grip. If you try to grip that into your palm, you're going to put these down like very quickly. Let them hang off your fingers. See that? They're balancing. Okay, now I'm going to step a little wider and I'm going to go into my toes and then bring my toes up. So heel lift, toe lift. See that? You're going to be rocking back and forth like this. All the while, you're managing, pretty close to 40 pounds I've got here. So whatever it is you've picked up, maybe you have 15 and 15, maybe you have 12 and 12, maybe you have 9 and 9, whatever, 8 and 8, 6 and 6, okay? Be very conscious of what you're doing with your shoulders. Keep your knees bent. You're gonna lift your heels, stay balanced. Lift your toes, stay balanced. You're gonna be working back and forth like this, but you keep your shoulders down, okay? See? Bend, 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 bend. Take a big deep breath, heels up, toes up, heels up, toes up. Let that weight hang right down. Bring shoulders up, shoulders down. Shoulders up, shoulders down. Shoulders up, shoulders down. Now take one foot and do that all important one-legged stance. And you're trying to balance your weights. I know it. That's why you want to be next to a wall, next to a chair. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders right here. Tight tummy, drop your shoulders. See how I'm just bringing that up there and hanging out here for a little bit? Bring it back down. Take a breath. Yeah, try to stay upright. Try not to overlean in order to balance, and then put it down when you need to, okay? Now I'm going to put those weights right there, and I'm going to just hang out here for just a second. Open and close, open and close, open and close, okay? So see where my weights are on my little balance medium? See that? If you do this, you need to be next to a chair, a wall, a bed, or get a pole, because we're going to go all the way up and then we're going to go back, okay? So get your stance. It's right here. Drop your shoulders. Chin is tucked. Use a pole if you need it. It's here if you need it. And go way down, right to there. Then come up and come right back down. See, I'm holding my pole. Come up, come right down here. So what are we doing really? In essence, we're doing a single leg mini squat. That's what we're doing. And so to have balance enough to be able to maintain your balance as you're going through this little bit of a dip and a swing through, and you have replaced joints, that's a big deal. Okay, switch. Here we go. Drop your shoulders, tight tummy. All I'm going to do is land on that little pad there, okay, momentarily. Now, keep your pole just a little bit above the floor, so you're not leaning into it. You got it? Set your foot. You're going to swing up, and then you're going to swing all the way down. You can do that little dip. See that? So I'm gonna come up, gonna come all the way down. I'm gonna do that little dip. I'm gonna come up, keep my knees soft, right here, and come up, take a breath, keep my knees soft, come up, and come back down. Get down as far as you feel you can, and then come back up with as little assistance as you can, but it's there if you need it. Stay straight, try not to overlean. If you feel you're overleaning, then use your pole to keep upright. Take a breath and come down, and then come back. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my heavy weights. I'm going to pull the pad off the chair. Here's the little balance pad right here. 18 and 18. Okay? I'm going to step just in the middle of the pad. My other foot is solid on the ground. Got it? So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to go shoulders down. And then I'm just going to come right here and right here. Do you see that? Do you see that modification? Woo! Breath. Breath. Right there. Right there. Don't pull from the shoulder. It's very easy to do a little cheater move and to pull from the big old shoulder muscles. Ah, right there. Ah, right there. You're just going to go from here to here. Okay, you're going to pull that shoulder, the elbow back. I'm sorry. Elbow back. Elbow back. Yeah, just like that. Then go to the other leg. Amazing how a step on an unstable surface with one leg, even with the other foot down, whoa, and then you do a task like we're doing. So now it's the shoulders. I'm going to go pull and rotate. So I'm going to go pull up and then rotate back. Take a breath, pull up, rotate back. But I'm saying solidly into that front foot. So it's pushed into that pad, rocking and rolling. Take a breath, pull, and then roll. Here we go. Pull with the back muscles and then roll. Here we go. Pull, roll. Then step off. Now step in front of your chair. Go a little bit wider than normal. Come down and come down. Okay? So we're going to stand up and sit down 3 times with heavy weights. Drop your shoulders, take a big breath. Shine your taillights. Go into your heels and stand up. Ha. Back down. Take a big breath. Shine your taillights. Drop your shoulders. Pull into the heels and up. Squeeze your butt right there. Now release. Go down. Do not pull those knees in. Keep them right over the feet. Drop your shoulders, lean in, shine your taillights, push into the heels, and come up. Big breath. 3 big squats with as heavy of a weight load as you could manage. Okay? Open those hands. Yes, open those hands. Straddle that little bench, okay? Go this way. See that? And I'm gonna go far enough to feel a little stretch coming right here. Then I'm gonna rotate and I'm gonna rock and roll my ankles, drop my shoulders, and I'm feeling it right there. Come to neutral, keep your chin tucked. Your elbows are on your knees, roll that ankle, roll the foot. You should feel a big stretch in the groin right here. Then you're gonna just Drop the butt, kind of a rocking horse. See, I'm gonna drop the butt. I'm gonna do that about 3 times, and then I'm gonna go to a straight-legged stance. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna come right up here, and I'm gonna act like I'm gonna touch my ankles. So bent knees, grab your ankles. Now straighten and bring your chest right into your knees. Keep your chin tucked. Pull, a good pull, just a few seconds. Bend your knees and then push into the heels and come up. That's how you stretch your hamstrings. You don't straighten your legs going and coming. You bend them. You get down there, you straighten them, you bend them, you come up. Okay? Well, we just got right with it, didn't we? Get you a good set of gloves. Okay? They help. Take a big breath and give yourself a big hug. Like this, and your shoulders are gonna come up, then drop them. And then turn, little tiny turns with your shoulders down. Shoulders down, tummy is tight. See, I'm pretty narrow in my stance right now. If it bothers you and you lose balance, just go a little wider. But do these little tiny turns with your shoulders down. Your shoulders down, your shoulders down. I hope you move better today. We got loaded, didn't we? Woo. That's my line, and I'm sticking to it.